Femi, this is not good for the Dallas Cowboys. Per ESPN's Adam Schefter, Cowboys star pass rusher Micah Parsons did not practice again today on Thursday due to his ankle injury. Schefter adding that it's unlikely Parsons will be able to recover in time for Sunday night's game against the Niners. And remember, the Cowboys had a bye week to get this fully healed. High ankle sprains, we say it all the time, can wreck seasons for players, like non-quarterbacks basically. So Parsons looks like he will miss the game on Sunday Night Femi. Cowboys at the Niners. What's happening in the betting market in that game?
Yeah, predictably, the 49ers are being bet. Like right now, this was as down as low as 4, but now we see 4.5. There's even a 5 out there at a pretty sharp sportsbook here in Las Vegas. The totals also getting bet to the over 46s have now turned to 46.5s, as like one of the premier defensive players in the league will not be playing in this game. So Niners are getting bet, and then the over is getting bet as well, which we'll see what happens with Deron Bland. They said it's a game-time decision. They did say earlier in the week, and by they, I mean Jerry Jones on 105 through the Fan in Dallas, he did say that Parsons was going to be a game-time decision, but, I mean, we can all read the tea leaves. If he's not going to practice Wednesday, not going to practice Thursday off of a bye week, what are the chances that he's good to go on Sunday? So Niners, once again, getting bet 4.5 across the board. There's even a 5 in the market, and also now we're 46.5 with the total.
Now tell me how you feel about it as a Cowboys fan.
I feel like there's a chance they could get embarrassed on Sunday night, like they always do whenever they play the 49ers. So I'm really looking forward to that one coming up to wrap up the Sunday slate.
But I want to know. No, but I want to know like how it makes you. I forget about bets. I want to know how it makes you feel, Cowboys fan. It's a, like kind of like a must-win game, not like a full-on must-win game, but kind of like a must-win game. And Micah Parsons isn't playing. How does it make you feel?
Makes me feel like bleep, to be honest, Nick. It makes me feel like bleep. Is what I want to really say. And I think the season is on the line in this game. If they don't win this game, with all the stuff that's come out over the course of the week about the former players talking about how it's like a zoo going to the facility since there's tours every single day there, and all these people can watch you looking at you like working out and all that stuff, it makes me feel like the season is on the brink.
How do you
I
feel
think that
about
they're
the
unserious.
tours?
I've taken a tour of the stadium. I've never taken a tour of the facility. But what I feel about the tours is that this team is focused on stuff other than football. The ownership is focused on cashing checks, making money, making billions and billions of dollars. They won their 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. I don't think winning a Super Bowl in 2024 is the number one priority for the Jones family, which is unfortunate to say as a fan, but I think they're worried about more so cashing checks and making this like the $10 billion value team that it is now, even though they haven't been relevant since 1995. That's how I feel about it. Truthfully.
And as someone who like is emotionally connected to this team, like you said, these are your words. Like I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm not. Hold on. I'm not putting words in your mouth. You said you live and die with the Cowboys. It's the one team that you live and die with. They don't care. Yep. When you're watching the game on Sunday and they're losing and the game ends, what happens in Femi Abebefe's head and in Femi Abebefe's house?
I rage text with my brother. That's what I do. That's what happens. I rage text with my brother, who's my best friend. We're both diehard Dallas Cowboys fans, and we rage text and we vent to each other. And we
Does
just
it impact your relationship with your wife?
I mean, now I'm speaking to my therapist officially. It does not impact my relationship with my wife.
That is I'll be honest. When if the Yankees lose Game 7 of the World Series, like I will get into a fight with my wife, guaranteed. That night or the next day, 100%. Like we are getting
strongly
into
advise
a fight,
against
100%.
that. Strongly advise
you can
against.
Advise. Yeah, you can also advise against the sun coming out tomorrow. Like you can't advise. Like great, you can advise against like grass being green. It's not going to change it.
I do have a funny story. Like the first time when she was my girlfriend, we were watching a Cowboys game together, and it was kind of like, I don't know if it was 2017, and it was the Cowboys hosting the Rams. It was hosting the Rams. It was like week 3, I believe it was. Week 3 or week 4. Here's like Sean McVay in like his 3rd or 4th game as the head coach. Dak Prescott in his 2nd year. Zeke is back, but Zeke like fighting a suspension potentially down the line. And I'm like, all right, like, let's get this win. Let's see what happens. And the game doesn't go well. The Rams like light that ass on fire. I think they scored 40 or at least high 30s
30,
in the game. Cowboys.
So October 1st, 2017, final score, Rams 35, Cowboys 30. Todd Gurley, over 100 yards rushing. Cooper Kupp, busy. 5 for 60 and a touchdown.
Yep. The offense got busy. And at that point, she realized, you might be a psycho about this. Because she knew I was a Cowboys fan, but like, she had never seen me watch a game. And like we watched the game together, and she was like, whoa, buddy, this is a little bit much. And I said, this comes with the dinner. Take it or leave it. And luckily, she took it. And we're now married.
Yeah.
And we're happy.
Yeah, Yeah, so like, yeah, I guarantee Yankees lose the World Series. Like me and my wife are getting into a fight, like 100%. That just is what it is. All right. So,
Total, by the way, also up to 47 and a half. There's even a 48 on the board.
And what's the side?
The side is now there's a 5 out there, but there's 4.5s. Side actually got bet a little bit, like while we were talking about my Cowboys misery. The 4.5s got bet, so there's 4, but there is 1 5 left. The main thing is the total. That's now like 47. There's even a 47 and a half, and I actually even see a 48. So we're all over the board with this Parsons news, with him unlikely to play on Sunday.
Here's my guarantee. If the Cowboys lose a heartbreaker on Sunday night, Femi will get into a fight with his wife. That is my absolute. I'm not saying divorce, so I'm not taking it that far. I'm just saying I think he'll get into a fight with his wife if that happens. All right, let's hit some more games. Let's go rapid fire here. Dolphins and Cardinals in Miami. Tua Tagovailoa is going to play. Just like, my stomach hurts thinking about this. What's happening with the Dolphins and the Cards in South Beach?
Miami's getting bet. Like, the closer and closer we get to this being official that Tua is going to return to the field, I think the betting market is going to keep liking the Miami Dolphins. There's now even a 4 out there at a pretty sharp offshore sports book. The domestic sports books, the legals, those have 3.5s, but the 3.5s are minus 115. The total is now up to 46, but we now have a 4, almost kind of like leading us in the direction to where I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up tomorrow and we get confirmation that Tua is playing, that we're 4 across the board. So if you like Arizona, my advice would be to wait. If you like Miami, you probably have to bet them right now, put them in a money line parlay or whatever you want to do, because Miami is getting bet, and they're probably going to get bet even more when Tua is officially announced as in for the Dolphins.
Okay, so let's say tomorrow, Phenomenal Football Friday, point spread Dolphins -4. Does it make you want to do anything? 10 seconds.
I bet Arizona.
I would also bet Arizona.
Yep.
To me, this is
a lot.
This is facts, not an evidence that Miami's getting bet like this right now. Like, and look, maybe they win by 30. Maybe the offense looks like it did last year. Again, like it didn't when Tua was healthy. So I don't want to be a big bet on Arizona. I would at least have a couple bucks on Arizona. Smaller bet on the Cardinals +4 if and when we get there. All right, you bet on this Thursday. Costos, Femi, the crew, and you. Line movement week 8 in the NFL. What's happening, my friend, with the Packers and the Jags Sunday in Jacksonville?
Yeah, what's happening is genuine interest on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, this was Green Bay laying 4.5. It looked like we might even get to 5 at one point, but we never quite touched there. All the 4.5s are now gone. It is 4 across the board. The total is also 49.5 with this one. That's been holding steady over the course of the week here, but genuine interest coming in on Jacksonville. Like, there's not like big news that's pushing this either way that would impact the point spread. So I think folks are looking to play on Jacksonville coming back from London. They did play well in this spot a season ago. Granted, that was against Gardner Minshew in Indianapolis. This is a much, much different situation now, but maybe the kind of jet lag and all that stuff doesn't apply to a team that goes to London every single year. So money coming in on the Jacksonville Jaguars as a home dog against Green Bay.
And I think, I don't know if Drew Dinsick said this. He would have said it. I don't think he'll mind me saying this. I think he said it off air, actually, because I think we ended the segment. I was like, what do you think of Packers-Jags? And he said that the Jaguars are the team that I think bettors are expecting to start playing a lot better in general. And that's why, like, maybe like genuine interest, like Femi said, in the Jacksonville Jaguars. If we're going to go to 3.5 here, I'm going to lay Green Bay. Does the point spread being 4 make you want to do anything in 10 seconds? Now we're sitting Green Bay 4 in Jacksonville.
I actually do kind of lean Jacksonville. If this is going to be the number, I would bet Jacksonville if I had to bet it. I still got to think about the game. I'll give out my official play coming up tomorrow during the show, during the power hour, but I actually lean towards Jacksonville. I agree with the move earlier today. This is coming off of 4.5.
I think I would bet the game, actually. Like, I do like Green Bay. I think I'd bet the game the same way I bet Monday Night Football. Maybe Jacksonville can score enough. Like, maybe Tampa could score enough to keep the game close and cover. Mm-hmm. I don't see how Green Bay is not scoring a ton of points with this Jordan Love offense firing on all cylinders right now. Green Bay team total over might be a look for me. We'll talk about that tomorrow in the Bet-tacular. All right, let's keep rolling through the board here, and we will move to a couple games that are moving like off-key-ish numbers, Femi. Let's start with the Chargers and the Saints in New Orleans, where Spencer Rattler gets another start for the Saints. Excuse me. This game is in Los Angeles. Saints at the LA Chargers.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a really good injury week for the New Orleans Saints. This team has been decimated by injuries the last few games. Well, linebacker Pete Werner, wide receiver Chris Olave, Taysom Hill, they're do everything, tight end, quarterback, whatever you want to call him, playmaker, Cesar Ruiz on the interior of the offensive line. Yeah, like they're all coming back, essentially. Like, they're all expected to be back in this game, which is a big boost for a team that did not resemble an NFL team last week when we saw them get demolished by the Denver Broncos. So the betting market is betting this injury news. That's what's driving this down. It's not optimism about Spencer Rattler maybe playing better. Like, that's not what it is. It's just that New Orleans is going to be much, much healthier, getting key guys back like Olave and Ruiz on the offensive side, and Taysom Hill as well. So you're seeing the Saints get bet. The total right now, that's sitting at 40.5. Oddly enough, that's not really getting blasted to the over. The total's still holding steady, but right now it is being New Orleans money coming in as the Chargers with that offense, which is kind of, neutered a little bit, now a touchdown favorite at home.
Well, neutered implies that it had like testicles to begin with, and I'm not sure that's the case with the way it's been going this season with Greg Roman calling the shots. At 7, do you want to do anything in the game? 10 seconds.
Pass. I don't like the game. I think this is just right.
I don't disagree. I think it's a pass for me as well. All right. Very interesting point spread, Femi, at BetMGM. Tell us what it is, and then if it's the same elsewhere at other domestics. With the Bears and the Commies on Sunday, no practice for Jaden Daniels today on Thursday. The latest report said Daniels will try and practice tomorrow for Washington.
Yeah, BetMGM is going out on a limb with this one because we see the Chicago Bears as a 3-point favorite. Now, it's not a full 3. It's not 3 minus 110. It's minus 105. But still, this is not available in other places in the market. The rest of the market I'm seeing is 2.5. Although there is actually another domestic sportsbook that has gone to 3 minus 105 as well. So BetMGM and another pretty prominent domestic at 3. The rest are 2.5, heavily juiced in favor of the Chicago Bears. The total still 43 with Marcus Mariota being the expected quarterback, but we'll see. I think tomorrow's going to be the big tell. If Jaden Daniels practices, this probably goes into the weekend to where they make an announcement before kickoff with the actives and inactives. But if he doesn't practice tomorrow, I think we can safely assume that it's going to be Mariota. So make sure you look out for that practice report tomorrow morning out of the Landover, Maryland. But right now, I think if you like the Chicago Bears, if you don't think that Daniels is going to play, you should probably bet him. But if you like Washington, maybe wait or go ahead and do that at BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas, because you can get a full field goal. Have to pay a little bit of it, paying minus 115, but at least you do get that field goal with the home dog.
I love the Bears in this game. And I agree 100. Like Rob said it yesterday, Rob Bizzola on the show. I said it on Tuesday. If it's Mariota and it's Bears 3, I'll lay the Bears. If Daniels plays and it's pick 'em, I'll bet the Bears also. I'm going to like the Bears no matter what. Maybe the first time all season I've liked the Bears in a game. But I will like the Bears on Sunday against the Commanders. Femi, what about the Super Bowl 50 rematch with the Broncos and the Panthers in Denver at Mile High? Bryce Young starting for Carolina.
Yeah, the betting market echoes the sentiments of Brian Baldinger yesterday, Rob Pizzola yesterday, saying that even at 10, I would lay it because now we're seeing 10.5s. 10.5 is the number in the market.
Do you want to lay 10?
I don't want to lay it. No, I don't want to. It's just such a big number with an offense that's. You do? Hey, well, go ahead and do it. I think BetMGM has a 10 right now. You can go ahead and do it there. For me, it would be Carolina or nothing, which means it's nothing. Maybe there's a scenario where Bryce Young is actually better than what we saw the first couple weeks. Maybe he got a clear mind to observe Andy Dalton on the sidelines and all that. But I would not want to bet it, even if it's a big price like this. It's a really good defense in Denver. On the road, West Coast game for an East Coast team. There's a lot working against the Carolina Panthers, which is why the number is as big as it is. But at that point, I just want to pass the game. If anything, I would look to betting the under because Bryce Young, I'm not as scared of the Carolina offense with Bryce Young playing versus Andy Dalton playing. So even if it's as low as 41.5, I would actually lean towards the under with this.
Chiefs and the Raiders in Las Vegas. We are off 10. Kansas City is a juice 9.5 right now. Femi, I already took my 10 with the Raiders. You want to do anything now? You like Kansas City at 9.5 now that we're sitting at this number, or?
So 9.5 is a consensus, but there's an 8.5 in the market, and I'm guessing that just based on how this has been going this week, we might get 8.5 across the board, and at that point, I'm going to tease the Chiefs. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't want to lay that number, but if I can get Mahomes under a field goal against that clown show down the road from me here in Las Vegas, that is 100% a bet that I will make. So I don't want to take this point. I get the angle of taking Pierce as a big dog. The whole making fun of Mahomes thing in training camp, that weirdly has me scared off of the game a little bit. I think Mahomes is enough of a psycho to hold that against them, but I'll tease KC if we get to 8.5 across the board.